Hi, welcome back to another mini-series of Intuition Nutrition. I'm here with a fabulous Nelda McEwen, who's here from Lake Huron, Ontario, up in Canada, another international guest that we get to have. I feel so honored, Nelda, that you've joined us. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for asking me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So Nelda is a medical intuitive. Now, Nelda, I wonder if you could explain sort of in layman terms what that means.
There are skills that one can learn, and I have been studying this is my 25th year. Little tools that you pick up. I've studied herbal therapies. I've studied nutritional therapies. I've studied with NLP practitioners. I've studied with a lot of people who have very interesting techniques. But my innate sensibility, my gifting is intuition. There are things that just come together. When I was in school, I'd get the right answers, but I always got in trouble for not being able to show my work. I mean, there's a point where the whole brain comes together and goes, "Jing, I got it." And when people are talking about their stresses, their stories, their concerns, I kind of describe it as a hornet's nest. I keep asking questions and I keep poking until I feel something kind of buzz back. Mm-hmm. Now I can actually get a sensibility about where the stress actually is. In my experience, what I notice is people may have stresses that they're perceiving in the physical body. They're functionally manifesting, not necessarily pathologically manifesting, but something's off. Their digestion's off, or they're exhausted and they don't know why, or they're getting rashes or whatever. What I notice is that people have stresses that are social, that are financial, that are emotional, that are psychological, that are spiritual. And that's the big breakthrough point, is to say, once we get an idea, it's like taking a plane trip. Once we're up in a plane looking down at where we live, we'll never see it quite the same. Getting that real whole story perspective and to be able to observe and to know that the body is showing the stress, not creating the stress. And that's a whole different game.
So when people come to you, they come to you for a certain problem, which you realize is a symptom of something else?
Everybody's jump on spot's different. I mean, I've seen thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So some people come because they have relationship stress. Some people come because they can't get their thoughts in order. Some people come because they have a rash that doesn't resolve, or sinus infection that doesn't resolve. Like, everybody has what they're noticing. What they realize is they need help. Right. I'm the generalist that kind of says, you know what, I've been trained by chiropractors, I've been trained by naturopathic doctors, I've been trained by nutritionists, I've been trained by a medical doctor. And so the thing is to find out, okay, this is where I'm seeing the signs, but what is the underlying root? So you kind of keep going through until you go, oh, there it is. There's the causal layer. So, and I don't pay attention a lot to diagnosis because that's a whole different art. I am not knocking it, but I'm the generalist that says, okay, let's scan through and let's find out where it really is. Is it structural? Is it a pinched nerve in the atlas wedge, or is it TMJ issue that's showing as allergies, but what's underneath them? Is it adrenal fatigue? Is it what? So when you're able to kind of use techniques to kind of dig through to causal layer, it's a whole different view. Then you can work on what it really is, no matter how it shows.
Right.
And then things will resolve on a deep level. It's not like in 4 weeks they've got the same thing coming back again. So everybody has their different orientation. So wherever they are, that's where you meet them, whatever they need. Now, ultimately, it comes down to how we love ourselves. and
true.
I think there's a lot of love in the happens in the kitchen. So I don't know if I'm a foodie. Like, I'm pretty lazy in the kitchen. But when I go into the kitchen, I go, okay, what do I need today? Is it humid out? Is it cold out? Is it damp? Am I tired? Do I feel this? Is my bowel backed up? Is my whatever? And I actually look at my accoutrements, my herbs and spices and all the things that I have, and I build the medicine for the day. So it's cold and damp right now. So I go in and I go, oh, I got to light my fire. What have I got? And I pull out some hot sauce and I start pulling out the onions and the garlic and then this and that. And I start I put in some black mustard and oil, and I put in cumin and coriander and ginger, and I keep just going, well, like, let's throw in a chili. What about garam masala? And I'm actually going to build something that is going to heat me up and start moving my circulation in a way that I need. So, but that's an intuitive process.
Right. And
That's
most people, I don't know about where you live, but around here, I think most people are not in touch with that intuitive process within themselves. There's a lot of grab and go, grab and go.
Well, we've been taught, first of all, to ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're belly achers or we're whiners or whatever. So as children, we're kind of encouraged to kind of delete that sensibility. So I think the first step is to really regain it. And to have little snippets of information. I mean, just what I said to you, ginger, coriander, cumin. Put a little bit of oil in a pot, heat it up. Okay, simple, simple. I'm a practical woman. As much as people think I'm a little flaky, I'm not. I'm practical.
Mm-hmm.
I think, okay, I'm going to make a one pot whatever, and I put oil in my La Cuisine pot, and the first thing I do is I put in just maybe a half a teaspoon of black mustard. Mm-hmm. When they start to pop from the heat of the oil, then I throw in whole cumin. Then I throw in some ginger and I get that going. I throw in some garlic, get that going. Mm-hmm. Then I put in my dry spices. I will put in garam masala is something that I really like, and some ground coriander. And I'll just stir that around. Then I'll throw in my onions and I'll start sauteing my onions in around there. Then I throw in any carrots or whatever else I want. I start stirring it around. Then I actually put in dry basmati rice or whole grain rice, and I stir that around. I use basmati because I usually have to wash the heck out of brown rice. So this is where I get to use my nice East Indian rice. And then I sort of saute the rice. What that does is it creates more heat in the food. Just like roasting creates more heat compared to stir frying. It gives the body more heat internally. It's a bone warming heat. Then I add water, put the top on. It cooks faster because it's already hot inside. And in 15, 20 minutes, I've got this, And then I just grab the hot sauce. There's a Thai sauce that I like. That's my little secret pleasure. And that too is going to add heat, but I'm just adding that after and mixing it in a bit. And, or I'll use wasabi if I've got sinus congestion. Or I'll even use mustard with horseradish if I think my liver and gallbladder need a little support. So it's all just kind of, tickling it this way, tickling it that way. But it's based on, what's going on today? What do I need? And everybody has their superfood. And as soon as you click into, when I eat this, I'm better on almost every level. For me, it's beets. That's my superfood.
And you just find that out by trial and error?
I'm old. Been around. It's like sooner or later you get it. Yeah. If you really listen. I'm type A. I came to the right diet by experience and then realized, I'm kind of typically type A. That's kind of annoying, but I am.
You mean personality or blood type?
Type A blood type.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And no, not.
I was going to say.
I'm lazy. No, type A blood type, and I really, intolerant to dairy, sensitive to wheat, don't do gluten too well, don't do well with beans, and bananas aren't great, oranges are a no-go. I get rashes from oranges and kiwi fruit. I sort of found my way there. I do an allergy testing technique, and that's what I learned. So I learned things there, what I shouldn't do. I'm a specialized kinesiologist, so that's one of my tools, which is through muscle testing. And sort of found my way and then opened up your body type diet or the blood type diet and went, oh my gosh, I'm so typical. And I didn't know until I experimented my way there.
Right.
Maybe that, just reading lots. But the thing is to not try to fit a book. Don't try to fit a theory. Let all the theories in the world fit you. And there's the different orientations. Some people just go crazy. They read a book and they almost make themselves sick trying to reorient their world around because somebody had a theory and they put it in print. It's not gospel. This is the vehicle that it will. This is the wisdom that will not lie to you.
Each one of us has a world.
It can't. So if we start here, gentle things, maybe somebody will say, hey, why don't you try quinoa? It's a little more gentle. Or why don't you try this one? Well, okay, let's try it. Let's see where it takes us. And I think some people have very wonky responses to things that they think are food, and for some people might be food. Some people are unduly aggressive when they have beef.
Yes.
Because the hormones and they're fight and flight hormones because of the way they do the animal in. They're already panicked, to the point of madness practically. And some people get off on it. They just, it jacks them up, but it overall doesn't do well. So for some people, it's the hormones in dairy. For some people, it's a chocolate bar. For some people, it's, and I think it can throw them profoundly off.
Right. We're all so different. So Nelda, you have so many passions and so many ways to help people. How can people learn more about you?
My website is neldamcEwen.ca, and I'm on Facebook as well, Nelda McEwen Medical Intuitive.
Wonderful.
I'm just starting Pinterest. I'm very visual, and I think that will really work for me. I met somebody actually who said that they use Pinterest as a search engine. They used it more than Google, and I went, this is all right. And so working more with social media. I'm such a beginner. So, getting sort of savvy in the way that the world is communicating today. I've been doing this long enough that if my motivation really to put myself through all this technology stress is that if I don't find a way of moving my life's work out onto the earth for the young people coming up in my field, in my various fields, it's going to die with me. So that motivation of legacy is really what has driven me out of my little comfortable corner into the world of websites and social media. And it's really quite a stretch for me. No, that being said, it's kind of fun.
It is fun.
It's like there's kind of fun.
And your website is beautiful. I hope
I
hope that everybody goes and checks it out. It's just pleasing to the eye, and there's so much great information on there.
There's a power there that says, you know what, in all honesty, it's different today than it was yesterday. And it probably will be different tomorrow. And I guess that's what I really love. I love getting the power in my own hands. And I think this really motivates me in my work as well. As I really don't like to be worked on, but work with me.
There you go.
And so when I invite people in, I want to educate them to be more attuned, more comfortable, more empowered in their own body. It isn't what I know that matters, it's what they know. So the educational piece is very huge around what I do. I'm really pretty clear about giving people the follow-up, the tools that they need to be able to navigate their own way. And I think that autonomy I think that's where people get frustrated. I know that's where I was frustrated as a consumer of healthcare.
Well, I'm sure that you're going to be able to guide so many people to find their best health. Nelda, thank you so much for joining me today.
Jennifer, thank you for asking me. It's so exciting what you're doing. I'm so pleased.
Thank you so much for tuning in. And tune in next time for more food for your mind, body, and soul.